I'm like at a loss for words. It was definitely way bigger than I thought it was. Hi everyone, and welcome to the Life of the Troxels. My name is Laura, and today I wanted to share with you the top purchases we had on Amazon last year. So we had 303 transactions on Amazon, and once I added up the total of how much that we spent, it was kind of a lot. It was really a lot. It was actually kind of shocking to see the numbers. So stay tuned to the end. I'll tell you the total of how much we spent on Amazon last year. But while I was running the numbers and coming up with the total for this year, there are a few things that I wanted to share that I thought would be interesting for you to see. So we are a family of 5. We have 2 adults, 3 young kids under the age of 5, and then we also have a dog and a cat. And so these purchases seem kind of random, but they really fit our life for where we are right now. I already shared the number of transactions that we had, 303. I'll share what we repurchased the most, what our most expensive items were, what our least expensive items were, a few of my absolute favorite purchases that we made from Amazon, as well as kind of the strangest ones, the most random purchases, as well as at the end I'll share with you my total. First, the thing that we repurchased the most is cat food, and specifically boxes of wet cat food, and that's because we had it on a subscribe and save, and so it was coming every couple of weeks, and we actually canceled that subscribe and save because we were getting too much and stockpiling too much that we weren't able to go through it as fast. So we ended up buying cat food 28 times last year. Our 5 most expensive items that we purchased. So the cheapest one we bought is a new bike for my 4-year-old daughter. We got her this pink bike with training wheels. This bike was $160. The next one was Arlo cameras, and we have a security system at our house and uses the Arlo brand cameras. We were expanding it and needed a couple extra cameras, and so it's $198 for camera. So this one is kind of strange for 2023 purchase. This kind of seems like a 2003 purchase, but we bought a home printer, and we just needed to be able to print different documents, official documents where we needed a hard copy. I also wanted to be able to print photos out, and every time I needed to do one of those things, I would go to the library, I would go to CVS, I would go to FedEx and spend money to print it. So we just decided to buy a printer and a scanner for our home, and that was $209. And a really good purchase that we made is these car battery chargers. So they're not chargers, they're car battery jumpers. So if your car battery dies, you can use this little device, and just like you would jump a car to a car, it jumps this little box to your car, and you're able to start it. We keep one in both of our vehicles, and that way if we're out and about or something happens, we can immediately use it to jump it and not have to call AAA or be stranded anywhere. So 2 of those cost $220. Another large purchase we made was for $297, and this was a group purchase where we bought some beach chairs as well as a beach cabana, and we just went camping last year. We took our RV to the beach, so we needed some beach equipment in the RV, and bought this really cool cabana and some comfy chairs that were low to the ground, and all together that purchase ended up being more expensive, even though the items individually weren't that expensive. And the most expensive thing that we bought on Amazon last year was a generator. And this isn't any old generator, this is the Big Daddy generator. And it is going to save us in the event of a long-term power outage. This has happened a few times where our home has lost power, but it usually comes on within a few hours. But we know that this time of year with the winter time, and there's just lots of possibilities that the power could go out for an extended period of time, and we didn't want to lose the food that we have stocked up in our freezer, and we wanted to make sure that we had power available to us, a minimum to keep the fridge and the freezers cold, but also just we made sure we bought a big enough one to run our entire home. So it has USB and regular outlets that you can plug directly into it. It's just was so important for peace of mind. So we bought the generator, and then we also bought a cover for it, and so that stays in our garage. So we had 4 purchases that were under $4. So these were the least expensive things that we bought this year. So we bought a little medicine syringe to administer medicine to our infants. The ones that come with the medicine, we ended up losing it and had to buy one, and that was only $3.89. I've been spending a lot of time on our front porch, really enjoying being outside, but the mosquitoes this summer were insane. I've never seen mosquitoes like that where we live, and so I was basically getting eaten alive, and I bought a mosquito killer called Hot Shot, and it kills it instantly on contact. And so I was using that as like my mosquito repellent, and that was only $3.27. Then we bought a calendar for only $3.30, and we have that calendar as well. And then I also bought some clear pegs to hold up a shelf. So I have a IKEA desk, and it has like 3 different shelves inside the desk, and one of them was missing one of the pegs, so I bought a set of 8, and that was only $3.95. So my favorite purchases this year, it was hard to narrow it down because we did buy a lot of really fun things, but I think my top purchases just in this last year in 2023, first of all is the portable fire pit. It was only $45.99, and we brought it camping on the beach again, like I mentioned with the cabana. It has legs to keep it 12 inches off the ground, which was a requirement from where we were staying, but then the legs come apart and fold up, and it's really compact that we can keep it in the back of our RV. So it has been a lot of fun to use that, and I think that's been a great purchase. Speaking of the cabana, that is another one of my favorites. It was only $99, and it is big. This one, we bought the one that holds 6 people, and it's definitely big enough to put all your chairs inside. You can use it to change if you need to, keep away from the wind and away from the sun, and so my family has really enjoyed using that as well. The other thing that has kind of surprised me as something that was really helpful this year is called the Unbuckle Me, and it's a little tool that you can use to unbuckle the car seats. And I didn't buy it for myself, but I bought it for my oldest daughter. Once the baby was born and we had 3 kids, my oldest daughter had to be in the 3rd row of our car, and I wasn't able to reach back there and help her unbuckle the car seat. So we taught her how to buckle herself in, and then use this tool to unbuckle herself out of the car seat in the 3rd row. And she loves it. She thinks it's so helpful, so useful, and loves the independence that it gives her. And so some of the kind of strange and random things that we purchased, I mean, we bought some we buy some random things like different lights and different light bulbs and weird batteries and things, just as we were fixing up, you know, around the house, fixing up the RV and the golf cart and around the house. There were just some random purchases, but these were kind of the ones that stuck out to me. So number one were fire extinguisher wall mounts. We discovered our fire extinguishers were expired, so we bought some new fire extinguishers and then bought the wall mounts to go with them. Turns out fire extinguishers come with wall mounts already, so now we just have some extra wall mounts that we don't need. So that was super random purchase. Those were only $11 though. Then we also bought tire spoons, which is kind of weird, but it's basically a tool that helps you to replace a tire on like a dirt bike, and those were only $24.98. Super random, won't be used very much, but definitely needed if you're gonna be replacing tires on like dirt bikes and quads and things like that, which we do, we have those things. And then the last one is a homemade gin making kit. And this was $55, and we actually bought it for Christmas as a Christmas present. But it comes with all of the supplies where you can like distill your own gin and put different flavors in it and everything like that, which we thought was kind of cool. We learned a little bit about it. It's almost like a little science experiment, but it was definitely not something that we would purchase if Amazon hadn't had shared it with us. But I thought that was kind of interesting and something I hadn't heard of before. Now that we shared a couple of the products that we bought, the total amount that we spent on all of our purchases on Amazon in 2023 is $15,570.23. Yeah. The number is kind of astonishing to say the least. I'm like at a loss for words. It was definitely way bigger than I thought it was. My husband had a feeling it was going to be close to that just based on the amount that we were putting on the bills every month. But when you're making 303 transactions, each one is maybe $50, $20, $100, you know, $40, $18. There were just little purchases that we would make again and again and again. You don't realize how much is adding up to until you do the math at the end of the year. Next year, our goal is to not spend that much. Hopefully we can like cut that in half maybe. There were a couple large purchases. Obviously we're not going to be buying another generator, and hopefully we're not going to have some other large expenses like that, but basically, are we all addicted to online shopping and Amazon shopping and the convenience of it and everything? So we're gonna have to really work on cutting that back, cutting down our spending really to the essentials. And you know, even though we repurchased cat food 28 times, that was an essential. My cat needs to eat. I thought that was kind of interesting to share. Please feel free to give this video a thumbs up if you like it, or if you found it interesting, or maybe there's a new product that you hadn't have heard of that you'd be willing to go check out. I have links for what I can down below. Not everything is still available to purchase, but I will link what I can. Thanks for watching the Life of the Troxels. See you next time.